Hello and welcome to this video on the IELTS test. I'm Preetinder Kaur for Perfect Scores. This is our Facebook, email and website address. So in this video, we are going to continue on the structure of the test and continue with the speaking section. So the speaking section actually takes place at a different place and time than the other three sections. The other three sections are taken just like any other test in an examination hall with lots of students in it. The speaking section is taken on a one-to-one basis, and it's a face-to-face interview with one examiner. So one student, one examiner, and the total time that is given for a student is 15 minutes. You may have to arrive at the test center a little early and wait for maybe 20 minutes or an hour or 1.5 hours before your turn comes up. But whenever your turn comes up, the actual speaking section will only be for 15 minutes and everything is recorded in it. Except the expressions, of course, only the audio is recorded, no video. So in the speaking section, there are essentially three parts. There is part one. If you are comfortable with what these parts contain, it's going to be very easy for you to give the test. And the best way to practice for speaking is to actually speak. Speak as much in English as you can, and then you will not have to learn anything up. You don't have to cram anything for these questions. Everything will come out naturally from inside. So let's have a look at what part one contains. So part one is more like an icebreaker. There's a general introduction. The examiner may ask you some basic questions about your work, your education, your home, your family, your likes and dislikes. So you'll be basically getting about 5 to 10 questions, really easy ones, and you have to give an answer to them in complete sentences in 1 to 3 full sentences. For example, if the examiner asks you, do you have a pet? Your answer shouldn't be just a yes or a no. It should be in a proper sentence. No, I do not have a pet because I'm allergic. Or yes, I do have a pet. It's a dog and the dog's name is so and so. Alright, so 1 to 3 complete proper sentences. And then part two. And one thing, remember, in part one, you do not get any preparation time. You have to answer as soon as you hear the question, because these questions are supposed to be so easy. And part two is the one in which you are given some preparation time. So you're basically given a cue card that has a question on it, and then you have to answer a series of follow-up questions. You get a preparation time of 1 minute. You can take down notes if you want. A pencil and a piece of paper are provided to you. And then you have to speak for not less than 1 minute and not more than 2 minutes. So that is part two. And this is the one that students find most challenging because they usually are out of information and the time is still very less. So for example, students, they often end up saying everything they have to say on that topic within 45 seconds. But remember, the minimum time is 1 minute, maximum is 2 minutes, so you need to adjust the speed at which you speak. Then part three is more like a two-way discussion, just like you have discussions with friends in your own language. You need to have a discussion with the examiner, and this will probably be in response to the kind of answer that you've given in the second part. Let's say part two was about the environment. So part three will also have some discussion questions that are related to the environment. So in this, you will have 2 to 5 different questions, and there will be more like explanatory in nature, not just simple yes-no questions or data-based questions. These are more about your feelings and your opinions, asking reasons why you feel something. So you need to give some longer answers, so about 3 to 5 sentences each. And you need to do a lot of practice for these three parts beforehand, before giving the real IELTS test, so that you can get a good score. So that was all that you needed to know about the speaking test, and that is all that we will be covering in this video. In the next video, we will focus more on the scoring of the IELTS test and how the scores are related. How many marks do you need to get in order to get a particular score? So that's all in this video. Thank you so much for watching this one.